Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of the festive fun release blog hop with Simon Says Stamp, and I have an oh so very merry project to share with you. I'm going to be featuring the new Gingerbread Man embossing folder with the coordinating cutting die, and then I'm going to incorporate some oldies but goodies. This is the CZ Holiday Stack. Gonna do a little customization with that for the sentiment as well. For the sentiment, using another CZ Happy Combos stamp set. Okay, so for the Gingerbread Man, I'm gonna cut out a few out of this kind of it's like a light tan sand solid color cardstock. You could also die cut these out of white and blend some of that new cookie ink onto these to make them kind of a cookie color. I think actually gingerbread cookies might be a little bit darker than this, but I was going for tan. I was feeling the tan. Now, to emboss them, this is my little embossing sandwich. You got the Spellbinders platform base, then the platform top, and then the shim, which is literally paper thin. And I have found that this works beautifully for embossing using the Simon Says Stamp embossing folders. Now, every company needs a different sandwich because they're all different thicknesses and it's so annoying. But I have been struggling lately to find a good sandwich with the Simon Says Stamp, and I came upon this one and it was just totally by trial and error, and it doesn't feel like very much pressure when you're running it through. Now for the background, I'm going to use the Thread Plaid embossing folder. It's not a new one, but I love this plaid pattern, and I'm doing it on a panel of cream or buttercream cardstock. Let me show you my inspiration, okay? When you see the inspiration, you understand why I did this plaid textural background. I saw this sweater and I fell in love with it. Look at the Gingerbread Man on that cream sweater with the ho ho ho. It's very festive. That was my inspiration. Now, to bring in the color, like there was pops of color on that sweater, and you know I need color. It's what brings me joy. I'm going to just do Merry on this holiday stack, and so I'm doing a little snippet of solid color cardstock for each letter in the Merry, which is 5 letters. Okay, so I'm laying these down face up on my Anna Griffin Impress plate. Okay, now I will say after I did this, I decided to throw in an orange. Here I have 2 greens, a light green and a dark green. Well, I substituted out one of the letters and I added an orange. Okay, so here they are. I'll tell you what, color can make me like a mad scientist. But I was happy with this little Rainbow Merry. And then, I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to stack up these Marys. Instead of putting little slivers of foam tape, I decided just to die cut 2 more Marys out of white cardstock, and then I'm going to glue these together. So I glue 2 out of white, and then I top it with the solid color cardstock. Back in the day, I'll tell you, when I used to be hot and heavy into the dimension, it was nothing for me to stack up 5 white ones and then top it with the solid. I did that. I was like, I don't know, I had energy, I had motivation. Now I hardly stack up die cuts anymore, but I really do love how it looks. So I just did 2 white, top it with the color. It gives you a little bit of shadow, makes you look like you mean business. So there you have the Merry, and I'm getting the lay of the land on this plaid background. I want them to be kind of wonky, kind of loosey-goosey. So when I get it how I like it, I'm going to hold this down with that Easy C pink tape, flip it over, and add the glue. That way I know when I go to put my letters down, I'm going to have them where I want them to go, and it will be centered on this plaid pattern. Okay, so I'm going to let that kind of marinate while I get the lay of the land with the Gingerbread Men. Okay, now I was wishing there was a coordinating die for the tiny little bow tie. I would like to add little colorful bow ties, but I decided just to leave them this subtle sand color. I'm putting a little bit of foam tape on the back, and they're just kind of staggered. And I like how they come off the edge, which I'll crop off that excess here in a minute. So you got the Gingerbread Man just going willy-nilly, taking the scissors, clipping off, snipping off the extra, okay? And then wait till, by the way, this cream panel is trimmed to 3¼ inches wide by 4½ inches tall. And I'm going to emboss a little sub-sentiment with this CZ Happy Combos. I'm going to emboss wishes in white on a little strip of black cardstock. So first I'm prepping with that powder brush, inking it up with Versamark ink. And you know I'm going to stamp it twice to make it nice. And then I'm going to pour on some Simon's Stamp white embossing powder. So it's going to say Merry Wishes. What do you think of that? Do you like that for the holidays? Merry Wishes? I mean, it could have been, I could have looked through my stamp set and found a little Christmas. So it could have been Merry Christmas. Also, I could have found maybe an and bright. So it could be like a merry and bright. I went with wishes. Could be debatable, I don't know, but it fits the composition. And that's really what it's all about. Snipping this out with the little mini guillotine trimmer. This has become my sidekick for snipping sentiment strips. Pop that up under the Merry, popped up the panel on a white card base. See how you got that jumbo thick border around the edge? That's what brings me joy. And the colorful Merry sentiment, Merry Wishes with the new Gingerbread Man from the Festive Fun release with Simon's Stamp. Check out the rest of the blog hop and make sure and check out the release over at Simon's Stamp. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.